Hello, everybody, and welcome to installment number 3 of my graphic novel Impressions Extravaganza videos. I gotta think of a better name for that. So, the one that I'm going to be talking about now is The Killing Joke. This one is written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Brian Bolland. And this particular edition that I have, Brian Bolland also did the coloring, and I believe it was a different colorist in the original edition. Full disclosure, I had never read any Batman comics before. This is my first foray into the written and drawn Batman medium. And I'm really happy that I chose this one, actually. I find that it worked very well as a standalone. And obviously, I was familiar with the characters already and seen plenty of movies and played plenty of games. So, yeah. I will start off by saying, spoiler alert, okay? I want to be talking about big stuff that happens inside this story, including the ending. So if you haven't read it, it's a really quick read. I read this on the car trip on the way back from Toronto, and I read 2 other graphic novels in that span. So really, it's a speedy one. It's a speedy one. Check it out. Spoiler alert. First off, just me saying, first impressions. I knew that I would. It feels weird to say that I would enjoy this one because it's a very distressing, very disturbing subject matter, but I did, I guess. I thought, well, in the sense that I thought that it was very well done. I had high expectations because of Alan Moore and how much I enjoyed The Watchmen. So, But the first thing I noticed was how easy to follow the story was. So I mean that in terms of how it's laid out on the page. It is very, very easy to follow. And the lettering as well. You know exactly where your eyes are supposed to be at every given time. The focus is always, it's always strong in each individual panel. I also thought that the coloring was very striking. I haven't seen the original, but I know that Brian Bolland had not been thrilled with how it was done, so he was very eager to do his own coloring work for this edition. And I thought that it was great. The colors were very vivid and very striking. So like in a page like this, there isn't a whole lot of color being used, or vibrant color. But then all of a sudden you've got Joker's hair, eyes, and his lips, and the purple. So you really see in every page, just as you go from page to page, panel to panel, that this is his story. This is the Joker. One thing that I want to talk about very briefly is Barbara Gordon and what happened to her in the novel. To be honest, I've heard a lot of the controversy about people, like how people responded to how her character was depicted in this particular novel, and if what happened to her was used only as a plot device and how she should have been a more developed character in this story. And then, of course, now I haven't seen the movie, but I heard a lot of pushback from the movie, a lot of criticism came into the filmmakers, obviously spoiler alert, the filmmakers threw in a prologue that, was not in this at all to give her more of a character, but that character came across as annoying. And then she and Batman slept together. And then there was a lot of pushback for that too. People were going, what the hell are you doing? So I guess my thing is, it's like, what's worse, having her not be in the story at all, except for this horrific event that spurs forward Commissioner Gordon and Batman's story arc, or to have her kind of added in to this film adaptation, but in a way that is really doing her character a disservice. I gotta say, my personal choice is actually how she was dealt with here. but it's a tough call. I do welcome people's thoughts in the comments. Please keep it respectful. This is a very, very difficult and heavy topic to be discussing, but I did want to bring it up, and less of a stating my opinion, but more as a just asking questions. This does make me curious to see the film. I don't think I'm going to like it, so I'm going to be going in with low expectations, but it does make me curious because what did they do? What did they do? So, moving on from that, the ending. Let's talk about the ending a little bit. So, in the last page, we've got the Joker telling a joke, and then we've got Batman and the Joker laughing together. Batman reaches out his hand. You see this in silhouette, reaches out his hand, and then you see a panel with the laughter from the Joker and the bat signal reflected in a puddle of water as the rain comes down. And then in the next panel, the laughter and the bat signal are gone and there's just the rain. So a lot of people took that to mean that Batman's premonition was true, that in that moment they both killed each other, that at least Batman went to kill Joker, and then that they both ended up dead. I don't think I agree with that interpretation. As somebody who's only read this and who's only got a smattering of other bits and pieces from the universe, I feel like Batman's friendship with Commissioner Gordon is a big enough reason for him not to kill the Joker. I think that after Gordon went through all of that crazy shit in the funhouse, and then despite all of that and despite what happened to Barbara, still begging Batman not to kill the Joker because he needs to see that their way works, the law works, the justice system works. I think that is enough of a reason for Batman not to have killed him. That's just my opinion, but I don't think that he did. I feel like it was more of a joke, knockout, cuffed, taken away. And yeah, that's just, in many ways it's a never-ending cycle because Joker will escape again and he'll do something awful again and Batman will go after him again and it will keep going, but I just didn't see it ending in their deaths, this particular. But if you feel differently, please mention this in the comments because I loved how ambiguous the ending was. I thought it was so open to interpretation. So what does everybody think? Please let me know. That is all I'm going to say on the subject of The Killing Joke. Finally read it. It was about time. Long time coming. And I really enjoyed it. Was it distressing? Yes. Disturbing? Yes. Did I appreciate seeing a Joker origin story? Yes and no. He is one of those villains that you kind of, having that mystery is something that's very appealing about him, but it was cool to see a version that humanized who he was before. So I did really appreciate that. And hell, it does make me want to read more. So job well done. Next up, I'm going to be talking about Ex Machina. That'll be my next installment because I'm 5 volumes in, really digging that series. So we're going to check that out and then probably check out some Saga afterwards. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, you can check those out. We had Watchmen and we had The Sandman. So Killing Joke. Let me know what you thought. Bye, guys.